here with Chris, and we were just sitting at the table and starting to have a discussion. We figured we'd put it on camera for you guys.
Yeah, we're going to do this gold for you guys. We should probably film it.
So, Chris and I were just talking. It's almost June, which means here in Florida, it's hurricane season.
Not just here.
Yeah, it's coming. It's approaching. We got some tropical storms already starting to brew.
We just had that tropical wave, they like to call it, move through, where it rained for like a week.
Yeah.
Now there's a tropical actual depression, I guess, that may be named the first storm. It's kind of hit where, I guess, Louisiana.
The Panhandle, Louisiana, somewhere
Alabama,
in there.
that Gulf Shores area somewhere.
Yeah.
But it won't be very well developed. But still, the fact that we have one this early in the season already really kind of a foreboding to what the season's going to look like. Hopefully not, but I have a bad feeling about it.
Yeah, and Chris and I were just sitting here, just kind of shooting the breeze, and we were talking about how it's really been about 10 years since Florida got hit by an actual hurricane that did a lot of damage. We had Irma last year, but it really just never...
Really, 10 or 14?
Something like that.
2004 was really the last year that we had major hurricanes.
So it's been a while, and with that comes a lull in preparation.
Complacency.
Complacency will kill you. I've told Chris before, I believe that Irma is going to cause massive damage and is going to kill people. It just didn't do it while the storm was going through.
It didn't do it then, yeah.
Because that was a Category 5 hurricane.
Yeah.
That everybody was freaking out for weeks about. And I believe that a smaller storm, it's going to be a Category 3 or a Category 4, but it is actually going to hit land in the proper devastating disaster.
Yep.
And people are not going to be prepared because their whole mindset is going to be, well, Irma didn't do anything.
Yeah, the last one didn't hurt me. So.
And it was bigger than this one.
Yeah.
So, this is a 3. We went through a 5 and the power barely went out.
Yep.
A 3, they're just not going to prepare for it, And that's what my worry is right now.
Or we can get, like we had in 04, multiple back-to-back, or like Puerto Rico did last year, where they got 2 back-to-back. Irma didn't do the damage in Puerto Rico. It was Maria that did all the real devastation there. And so, folks they don't take it serious. Like, you look at the people that went out and bought generators for Irma, and when they didn't need them, they never took them out of the box. They went and returned the damn things. You live in Florida, you should have a generator. I have 3, plus solar backup. Now's the time to start getting this stuff together. Not waiting until there's a storm track that you can look at on the Facebook weather page and then start worrying and start trying to find bottled water and get fuel sorted out. And
batteries.
Do I need to run to Lowe's and buy a generator? Do I need to get batteries? Do all that stuff now, Get your generators out, fire them up, make sure they run.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about, get your chainsaws in order, get bar oil on hand, get fuel on hand, mix oil, spare chains. Like I keep spare chains so that if I got to be out there cutting stuff up, I don't have to stop and sharpen a chain. I can just change it out real quick and move on. I even have a spare bar. If I was to overheat it, bend it, whatever, scrap it and move on.
Tweak it in a big, huge log or something.
It's the 2 of 1, 1 is none kind of thing. 2 is 1, 1 is none. But you've got the opportunity right now to make those preparations. And you feel kind of silly going out to the grocery store to Walmart right now and buying, half a pallet of bottled water. But you won't feel so silly when the time comes you need it. Like I was just telling John, somebody sent me a picture the other day of the town he lived in, I can't remember what state, their water treatment plant went out. And it's going to be like 3 weeks to get it fixed. So bottled water evaporated immediately. And then that same afternoon, people were on Facebook trying to sell cases of water for like $200.
Yeah.
Now that's criminal in my opinion. But you don't want to be that guy that's looking at that and going, is a serious consideration here. So start getting your stuff together now. And it's not just for hurricane folks. Folks in Tornado Alley, the same thing. Out west with brush fires and earthquakes and volcanoes. If you live in Hawaii right now, good grief, that all falls into the natural disaster thing. But volcano is kind of a hard one to prepare for.
Yeah.
Especially when, remember that caldera was full, all that magma, and they went back the next day and it was all gone?
Magma.
It was gone. They're like, where'd it go?
Yeah.
Oh, it came up over here. So, but again, you just never know, and that's why you need to stay prepared. Stay ready for these things. Like I said, last year during Irma, I didn't have to run the storm by nothing.
Yep.
We were ready. We had everything we needed. I think we went to get some silly little things, but it's not like, oh, we got to get this before the power goes out or we're going to be in trouble. We had water, we had food, we had batteries, lights, which generators, gas. I mean, we had everything. We were set up. And I'm ready right now. If a hurricane hit my house today, I'm ready to go. I don't need to go buy a single thing.
Yeah, and I'll say too, we understand that, prepping is expensive.
Yes, it is.
But it can also put you in an extremely financial crunch if now you feel like I got to go get a generator and water and gas and oil because the storm has already gone through and you're in desperate need of stuff now.
Or if you let the circumstances dictate to you when to go do it as opposed to you dictating when to go do it, then you can find yourself in trouble. Because we all know price gouging does happen.
Yep.
It's easier for you to make the decision on when it's to start buying those things and plan a little bit every week. A case of water when you go to the grocery store is only like what, $4?
Yeah.
And you've got a case you can throw in the garage or in the shed or wherever. A little bit of canned food, a pack of batteries. This doesn't have to all be at one time. But if you wait till the storm's coming, like John just said, then you're going to have to go out and buy it all at one time. And it could be a couple $1,000s if you're talking about getting a generator and gas cans and everything that goes along with it. And if you plan ahead too, you can have your house set up to properly connect a generator too. So you're not running extension cords or doing something stupid like leaving it in the garage to run because your cords aren't long enough and thereby kill your entire family, which we saw multiple times last year with Irma, sadly. I think the 13 was the final number of people that died from carbon monoxide poisoning.
Carbon monoxide poisoning, yeah.
I mean, how silly is that? But again, people not prepared, not used to doing what they were doing either, running generators and they don't know nothing about them, and just making bad decisions.
Yeah, and the last issue of The Insider was all about storm season, how to prepare for it, how to deal with it before and after, but Chris and I were just sitting here, talking just because we have a tropical storm right now, in the Gulf that, is going to hit some part of Florida. Even if it doesn't necessarily hit Florida, we've had, I think, 12 straight days of rain here. So, it's just been a lot of different issues that we're dealing with right now. And, and we were just kind of talking about how, man, is this just a precursor of what might happen this year?
If this is, like you said, a precursor to the season, I'm not very optimistic.
Yeah.
And just like the storm, that wave that moved through and this current thing, they're both to the west of Florida, which puts us on the east side of the storms, which are always the more powerful side of the storms.
Yeah.
So, you don't have to get hit by one of these things to see a lot of damage and a ton of rainfall.
Yeah.
Which is really weird because, like we're seeing in Ocala right now, there's a lot of sinkholes happening. Yeah. All this rain's happening, and we're getting the ground falling out from under people's houses. Just another thing, depending on where you live. Like I said, our problems may not be your problems, but and your problems aren't ours. If you live in Oklahoma, you're not so worried about sinkholes. If you live in Ocala, Florida, you better be.
Yeah. So, what we wanted to do was give you guys a chance to comment, ask questions below, based on if you guys have any questions with regards to your preparations for storm season, based on where you live. One of our experts will definitely jump in there and answer those questions. And Chris and I are going to be making some more videos in the upcoming weeks, just kind of showing you some of our preps. Like Chris said, how do we get our generator ready? How do we store our water in our house? Some building materials, things, 2x4s, plywood, tarps, nails, things like that. And then how to get what I consider some of the recovery tools ready, with regards to chainsaws and, chains and things like that. Because
straps, ropes, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
In my case, my tractor, a big recovery tool for me. And the thing on generators too, I'm going to do a little video. Like I said, I'm going to do a video out of the house because I've got 3 different generators there. If you guys get a generator for storm season, or if you have one now that you already own, change the oil in it today.
Yeah.
And have oil on hand. Remember, these little generators in the 5, 7, even 10 kW range are not designed to run at full load for a week nonstop. The engines, you'll wear them out. What I personally do, and again, we'll cover this, but I change the oil in my generator every 12 hours. Mm-hmm. So every 12 hours, I shut it down, change the oil. Makes it a little easier that mine is designed for a quick oil change with an actual drain tube and a spin-off filter. But if you will change the oil in those machines, they'll run a lot longer, and you won't find yourself thinking you're set up and good to go, Only to start that generator up and it run 3 hours and seize up, or throw a rod to the side of the block. Take care of your equipment. Tool maintenance is just as important as anything else. It's just like your car. You got to change the oil on that. You got to change the oil on these things too. So just something I wanted to mention. I think a lot of people overlook that.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody changing oil on their generators during storm season.
Right.
And you really should be doing it.
So guys, that's just a little, topic that we were talking about. Make sure you go check out the storm season. Make sure you read all the articles, especially the ones that pertain to the area that you live in. And like I said, if you got any questions or comments below, leave them below, and we'll definitely get to them. And until next time, be safe.